Let's begin with the step-by-step guide to your room service feature. First, we'll look at how guests view your room service information and catalog, how they place an order. Then we'll explore the staff perspective using the CMS to learn how to upload content and configure your feature. Ready to get started? In your CMS, in your content section, go to Services and click on Room Service. Once inside, you will see your main dashboard. Here you will be organizing your content in the 3-level content structure. Following this content structure, your module is Room Service. Your categories are the groups you will create. For example, here, due to the nature of room service, we have only created one category, which is room service. The last content level is your services. Here, for example, we have a service for ordering food and drinks to the room, another service for the minibar, and another for the pillow menu. This is just an example. You can create your content levels according to the real operation and organization of your hotel. Remember, you can create as many categories and services as you need. Let's see what a service looks like inside. By clicking the Edit button, we enter all the service configuration options. This screen is already familiar to you. In other functionalities, you have seen these navigation tabs. Let's go through them step by step in your room service feature. First, you have the Information tab. Here is where you add the basic information about the service. Remember, you can include the translation into other languages by clicking on the flag icon next to each text field. In this example, we have English and Spanish as languages. First, add the name of your service, then add a subtitle. This text should be short and can work to simply explain to guests what they can order through this service. For the description, you can add more information about the service, such as the type of dishes the guests will find. On the right side, you have the Images module, where you can upload images that will appear to the guest. The maximum file size is 1 megabit, and the recommended dimensions are 800 by 420 pixels. Here's a great tip. Since this module offers food to guests, you should use attractive images that make your guests even more eager to place their orders. This way, you'll be whetting their appetite. Then you have the section for additional information. Here you can include details about the service, such as contact information, location, directions, or specific rules. This section helps make the service information more readable and avoids overcrowding the description block with all the details. Here you have the tags section. You can enter different tags or keywords related to the service. They will be useful for optimizing search results and activating automated bot responses. Lastly, you have the map section. Activate the map location to display to customers where this service is located. However, since this is a service delivered to the room, it doesn't make much sense to activate a point on the map for room service. Now, let's look at the Catalogs tab. This tab is special and different from other catalogs you might create in your CMS. Unlike the catalogs you use in your restaurants, which are only informative, these catalogs are transactional. This means that guests select products from these catalogs to place an order. Let's go step by step on how to create your room service catalogs. Before we start, you should know that you can create as many catalogs as you need. These will appear here in the form of tabs. However, out of all of the catalogs you create, only one can be manual. This is because only this catalog can be transactional, meaning it will allow guests to select products to place an order to the room. Therefore, you will need to centralize all the catalogs whose products can be ordered through the guest app into one catalog. For example, if you have a catalog for drinks and another for food, you will need to combine them into one so that your guests can order both drinks and food through the guest app. The system is designed this way to make it easy for guests to place their orders without having to navigate through different catalogs. Once you create a transactional catalog, your CMS will only give you the option to create other catalogs via a PDF or an external link. Next comes the section for uploading your products. Select the type of catalog you are going to create. You have two options, standard or advanced. The standard catalog allows you to add products with prices. It's the simplest option. Guests add products to their order as they see them on the menu. On the other hand, the advanced catalog allows you to not only create products with prices, but also lets guests configure their order with different options to make it more specific. For example, they can add or remove ingredients, choose the cooking point of the meat, or add other products to the order through an upsell section. Just below, you have a section for free products. This section is often used for resorts or an all-inclusive hotel. Your CMS gives you different options for displaying the price as a 0. You can use a custom text like all included, set the price to 0, or choose not to display the price field in the guest app at all. Next, you will see the structure of your menu with its categories and products. In the example, we have categories like breakfast, starters, main dishes, and drinks. Inside these categories are the available products. For example, inside the breakfast category, we have products like continental breakfast, roast beef sandwich, and seasonal fruit. Let's see in detail the process of configuring a product. If you want to create a new product, click on Add Product. If you want to add a product with a template or preset configurations, click on Add Product from Template. A screen with a list of pre-configured products will appear. For this tutorial, let's look at an already configured product. The first thing you need to do is add the product name, the price, and specify through the toggle button which you want to show the product to the guest or not. For example, if a product is unavailable at any point, you can come to this option and deactivate the product. This way, the product will not appear in the room service catalog of the guest app. On the right, you have 3 buttons. The first one allows you to move the product to other categories. The second one lets you edit the product, and the third one deletes the product. Let's take a closer look at the editing options for the product. Click on Edit. You will see a new screen in your CMS. First, the button we saw before to activate or deactivate the product in your guest app appears. Next, the name and description of the product are shown. Following that, the price and the maximum item number per order are displayed. Let's go to the right column. Here you upload the product images. Remember the advice we gave you about images in this room service feature. Since it's a functionality for ordering food, it's crucial to add appealing images that whet the guest's appetite. Below the section for your images, you have the product attributes. Here you will find various options to provide guests with specifications on ingredients that may be restrictive for some people, whether due to allergies, intolerances, diet types, religious, or spiritual reasons. Keep in mind that the attributes are available in both positive and negative forms. Let's take the example of gluten. You can indicate positively that a product contains gluten through this attribute, or you can indicate negatively, meaning the product is gluten-free through this attribute. You have both options to choose how you want to provide search and navigation for your guests when selecting products for their order. At the bottom, you have a space to set up an offer or special price. To do this, you need to enter the new price in this field and in the text field, the offer, as we see in this example. Do you remember we saw 2 types of catalogs? The standard and the advanced. Since this is an advanced catalog, we have more blocks to configure the product so that your guests can place more specific orders. That's why in this type of catalog, you have this section called Product Configuration. Here you can add widgets for product configuration options. You have 2 types of special configurations. On one hand, there are widgets, which are fields that allow guests to choose from different options. You can choose single option widgets or multiple selection widgets. An example makes it much clearer. A widget that only allows selecting one option could be the meat cooking point, as we see in the example. An example of a multiple selection widget could be for the ingredients of a burger. In addition to these widgets, this advanced catalog gives you the option to add product blocks for upselling. This means, imagine your product is a burger. You may want to recommend to the user to add a drink, as there are two products that are often purchased together. The next tab is Hours and Booking System. This is where you manage and choose how you want your guests to make their orders and place their requests. You have different options for its configuration, which can be display only the opening hours, use a system that requires staff confirmation, use a URL that leads to an external system, or a setup through an integration. As it is a comprehensive section, we will delve into all its configuration options in another lesson. However, we want to let you know in advance that considering what we mentioned earlier about the importance of making your catalog orderable or transactional, the option you should choose and configure is the on-demand booking system. Now, let's go with the Upsell tab. This is where you can configure a pop-up that shows on the room service screen of your guest app to promote offers or any other content you want to highlight. Here we have our guest app. In this example, we see that guests can access the room service from the app menu. Once inside, we see the various options under a single category called Room Service. We click on In-Room Dining to see the most common example of this service. As you can see, this is where the schema of the 3 levels of content that you have configured in your CMS is applied. Once inside the service, the first thing your guest sees is the name, subtitle, and images, which are a key element in this functionality. Just below, we see the opening hours and the description. Next, we enter to view the catalog with the products available to place an order. Here we start to see the created categories as well as the products within them. In the example, we see the options of breakfast, starters, mains, and desserts. Let's focus on a product card. For example, in the Continental Breakfast product, we see the name and description. We also see the attributes and ingredients and the price. Do you remember we had an offer active on this product? This is how your guests would see it. In the top area, they would see the text you specified, and in the price section, they would see the original price and the price with the offer. You click on Add, and a new screen automatically opens where you'll provide specifications on how you want the product. It asks you to choose the type of bread, the style of eggs, and the drink. It only gives you one option in each widget because it's configured as a single option widget. Let's also add a burger. In this product, we see the 2 types of widgets, the single option widget and the multiple selection widget for the burger ingredients. At the bottom of the guest app, guests have their cart where they can see the total of the order and the number of the products. Once we have finished the order, we click on Next. The order details appear. Next, the system asks us for the day and time slot we want the order for. Finally, it gives us the option to leave a comment. If the guest has not registered through the guest app, the system will ask them to log in by filling out these fields. Remember, this login only needs to be done once during their entire stay. We will explore more details about the order in another lesson focused on showing you everything about managing requests, reservations, and bookings. Remember that the goal of this module was to show you how to upload your content.